Hi guys, so here Anwari here, co-founder of Sublime Trading, here with your daily update for the UK and US indices for Wednesday the 22nd of April. Okay guys, hope you're well. If you are new to these daily updates, then I recommend starting with the video that is pinned to the top of our Facebook page so you get a good understanding of what I cover in these daily updates. Okay, so let's start with the FTSE 100. As always, this is our three-screen setup, monthly in the top left, weekly in the top right, and our daily chart down here across the bottom. Starting with the monthly time frame on the FTSE 100, price is still finding support at the low of February 2016. This is a major support area. You can see that the month of April is looking like an indecision candle, like a spinning top at the moment, but we are still a week away from the end of the month, so this could look very, very different by the end of April. If we move across to the weekly time frame, we can see price still below the 200 moving average and the 50 simple moving average. So we do have an overall bearish bias. Currently, price going through a pullback, and we can see weakness in the last couple of weeks. Is this a temporary weakness before a continuation to the upside, or is price looking to move back to the low of March? We really need to let price dictate that. We can see that in more detail on the daily time frame. Price is also below the 200 moving average and the 50 simple moving average, but finding support at the 20 simple moving average, and we can see that price for a number of days now has really just been going sideways inside this area of consolidation. So although across all three time frames there is a very strong element of bearishness, this isn't a market that we want to place short trades on just as yet, because we could start seeing a recovery back to the upside if these support areas hold strong, or if they're broken and the low of March is cleared. That's when we can start considering short trades. But for now, we really want to be standing aside. If we move into the US indices, starting with the Dow Jones, now on the monthly time frame, we can see that price is bullish. Price is still trading above the low of last year, which is acting as an area of support currently. But we want to see where price closes in relation to this level. If I just take my measurement tool, we can see that there was a bullish move of around 17% to the upside earlier in the month, but now with the bears coming in, it's more of a move of around 11% to the upside since the start of the month. So we can see the bears really coming in now, starting to push price back down. The reason for this is because if we move across to the weekly time frame, we can see that the pullback in recent weeks has taken price to the 200 simple moving average. Last week closed above it, but we can see this week the bears have come in and started pushing price back down. Again, is this a temporary move before a continuation to the upside, or is this a sign of weakness back to the low of March? Now we can see this again in more detail on the daily time frame. Price is below the 200 moving average. It found resistance at the 50 simple moving average. That's where weakness has come in this week so far, but still above the 20 simple moving average, which is acting as support. What we want to see is a breakout of this area, either a breakout to the upside to suggest strength back to the 200 moving average, or support levels broken and weakness back to the low of March. So again, standing aside until we get a clear trend direction. We will be seeing similar moves on the other US indices, starting with the S&P 500. Now on the monthly time frame, we can see price found support at the low of last year and a bullish move to the upside so far this month. Again, if we get our measurement tool, we can see since the start of the month there was a move of around 18% to the upside, but the bears have started coming in, push price back down. So currently it's around 12.5 to 13% move to the upside since the start of the month. If we move across to the weekly time frame, we can see the pullback took price above the 200 moving average. So this is still above the 200 moving average, unlike the Dow Jones, which is currently trading below the 200 moving average. And of course, it's trading below the 50 simple moving average. Now remember, the 200 moving average is a clear bias of price action. So if price is above, it has a bullish bias. If price is below, it has a bearish bias. So currently on the weekly, price has a bullish bias, although we are seeing weakness this week. But on the daily time frame, price has a bearish bias because it's trading below the 200 moving average. Again, price is finding resistance at the 50 simple moving average, but still above the 20 simple moving average. So again, we need to see a breakout either to the upside or to the downside. If price breaks above the 200 moving average, then we're likely to see strength back to the all-time high. If we move across to the Nasdaq, starting with the monthly, again we can see April has been a bullish month. Price attempted, we can see it spiked above the high of 2019, which is this green line earlier in the month, but the bears have come in, found resistance at this level and started pushing price back down. Again, if we get our measurement tool, we can see that since the start of the month, price was looking almost 20% bullish, but now the bears have come in, started pushing price back down, so it's around 13% bullish since the start of the month. On the weekly time frame, price is above the 200 and the 50 simple moving average, so the Nasdaq really is leading the way, although this week has been bearish so far. And on the daily time frame, price is above the 200 moving average. This pullback of this week has taken price to the 50 simple moving average as support, and also still above the 20 simple moving average. So overall, in terms of the weekly and the daily particularly, this is looking bullish. So what we now need to wait and see is whether this is a pullback to support before a bounce back to the upside. So if this high is cleared, then we're likely to see strength back to the all-time high, or if these support levels are broken, then we could potentially see weakness back to the low of March and this support level, which is the low of 2019, June 2019. So again, really need to see price make a clear move either to the upside or the downside before we can really start engaging in what kind of market conditions we're dealing with. At the moment, we are seeing some bullish factors, some bearish factors, so we really want to be standing aside. So let's move to the S&P 500 mini, which gives us an indication of pre-market action. Starting on the monthly, we can see that price is looking bullish so far this month, with price finding support at the low of last year. Again, if I get my measurement tool, we had a move of around 19% at its peak, but the bears have started coming in and pushing price back down. So currently it's around 14% bullish since the start of the month. On the weekly time frame, we can see that price is still above the 200 moving average with this pullback, but currently this week is looking bearish. Now remember, it is Wednesday. This could look very different by the end of the week. If we get a break above the 50 simple moving average and the 3,000 round number, then we're likely to see strength to the all-time high. Similar setup on the daily time frame, price is below the 200 moving average, finding resistance at the 50 simple moving average, but so far today we're seeing a bit of bullishness with price finding an area of support just above the 20 simple moving average. Again, remember, it's the end of day candlestick that paints a much clearer picture of price action and what we could see into tomorrow. For now, really what we want to see is either a breakout of this area to suggest strength, or this area of resistance, or we want to see support levels, particularly the 20 simple moving average broken, to potentially see weakness to the downside. So for now, guys, really standing aside. We continue to stand aside until we get a clear trend direction. That's me for today, guys. Please like, comment and share. Let's get this video out there. Let's get people understanding how to use the indices to start building a proper investment portfolio and not get caught up in all the misleading noise and information that's spread across the internet. And I will see you on tomorrow's recording.